Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce GTX 962GB model in Delta Force. And why the 960, I hear you ask? Well, if you go to the Delta Force page here on Steam and scroll down to the minimum requirements, it shows the GTX 960 without specifying the VRAM amount, so I went with a 2GB version. And I gotta say, after all of these UE5 and extremely intensive titles that have released recently, it's very refreshing to see an almost 10-year-old GPU right here. And an i3, like a dual-core i3, are you serious? Anyway, let's continue going through the specs. This is the gaming 2G version of the card. I am running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, which it still supports to this day, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Up's GPU Z, and over on the left, I am pairing it with a Ryzen 7 3700X CPU and 16GB of RAM. Let's get into it, shall we? And here we have it. Let's go over the settings first. I am starting at 1080p resolution using the lowest settings right here. Anti-aliasing is turned off. I'm glad we can disable TAA here. That's nice. And motion blurs, everything is basically set to the minimum aside from resolution scale, which is at 100%. So it's native 1080p resolution. I'm also going to increase the FOV a little bit to 105. This doesn't really affect your FPS too much, but I like it that way. Let's do this. All right, guys, here we are. Defending the objectives. Oh, that's a tank. Okay, let me just start counting our FPS. There are smoke effects right now for us to take a look at. It drops a little bit of FPS inside of the smokes, as you can see, into the 40s. But I mean, this is a pretty accurate minimum requirements system, I guess, or at least GPU. It's a minimum requirements experience, definitely, in terms of FPS and graphics, in my opinion. Like, these graphics look pretty bad, but it's awesome that the game scales this much, honestly. I like to see this, guys. Usually games these days, it's very hard to play with 50 FPS. But as I was saying, usually games these days, ooh, that's a massive slowdown. So 1% lows are going to be pretty bad, but that's just because when you zoom out to the map, that happens, you know, massive drop in FPS. Still very playable down here, though. But as I was saying, for the third time, the games these days look very good on low settings. At least most of them do, and therefore they perform pretty badly at the same time when you set them to low settings, especially like on UE5 and stuff like that. They need, I've been saying this forever, but they need a very low settings preset, in my opinion. Alright, let's try to get some of them bastards over there. It's pretty hard, though, with 50-something FPS. I can feel quite a bit of input lag right now with these frames. Also, another good thing to mention about these system requirements, at least on the GPU side of things, because we're not testing the i3, you know, that could possibly become a pretty stuttery experience, given that these are 64-player servers, okay? And a dual core with 4 threads, I don't think it's gonna do a very good job, honestly. But I'll test something like that in another video, okay? Like the little i3 CPU. Seriously, we can't shoot through these things? This is just like fabric or something. Like, I don't understand. It's plastic. It's a plastic tent, basically. And it doesn't perforate, you know, with the bullets. But yeah, usually these days you see minimum requirements asking for like 720p resolution, lowest settings, you know, with FSR. Some of them with frame generation as well, which is absolutely crazy and insane when they ask for frame generation in the requirements page, right? And this one does not ask for any of that, guys. Obviously, it's not 60 FPS all of the time. It's far from it. I mean, it's 51 on average right there. Drops a lot into the 30s and the 40s, and obviously 1% lows are pretty inaccurate to the gameplay experience. My god. Ooh, it's dropping like crazy inside of here, guys. Look at that. But yeah, guys, it's 2024. I think developers should aim for a minimum requirement system for 1080p 30 FPS. At least 1080p native, okay? With 30 FPS. Maybe even 60 FPS, honestly. But hey, most of them are targeting 720p upscale or something like that with frame generation or without minimum settings as well. And it looks like crap. basically. So I think that's another thing that they did do well here with the Delta Force GPU requirements. This is native 1080p and it actually runs okay-ish. Oh, come on! God damn it! I'm tired of dying in this game. Come on, come on! Oh my god! You know what? I suck at this. Wait a second. Oh, I read unsuck. That would be great. I want to try a little setting over here called Nvidia Reflex. We can enable that and hopefully... Wait, I can't apply it? Why can't I apply it? What if I set it to 99% resolution scale? Is Nvidia Reflex now applied on low latency? Let me check. Yes, it is set to low latency. Maybe you just don't need to apply at all. And I don't think that's making a difference, guys. There's still a big amount of input lag right now, even with Nvidia Reflex turned on. That just feels bad, you know. In games like Battlefield, for example, I can play with 40 FPS or 30 FPS because the input lag isn't massive. But in this particular title, it is pretty massive. Alright, on enhanced, I think it's a little bit better. You can notice it being a little bit better. So let's start counting our FPS again. I mean, FPS will be exactly the same. Alright, there we go. Finally hitting some shots, you know. Well, anyway, let's try some upscaling here. I'd like to have seen FSR 3.1 being implemented in this game. Not because of the frame generation, because FG sucks in multiplayer shooters, but because the FSR 3.1 upscaler looks much better than 2.0 and 2.2 and 3.0 and so on. But let's set it to quality here. This upscales from 720p, and it should give us a bit of an improvement in frame rate. I think over here we were dropping down into the 30s previously, and now it's getting 50s and 40s. But yeah, this is not magic, guys. It actually still is not enough for 60 FPS plus all of the time. So if you want to target 60 plus with a GTX 960, oh boy, it is not gonna happen. Okay, I don't think you can make it 60 plus with this GPU, at least with playable graphics still, okay? This is our last defense. Oh boy, yeah, we're doing so well here today, my friends. It's just like Battlefield, you know? If you're in the losing team, there's very little that you can do to change things up. Anyway, I'm gonna try it without super resolution enabled or upscaling, and I want to see if at native 720p there's going to be a big difference. Alright, here we go. We're at native 720p resolution using the lowest settings. And let's see, up here, it doesn't drop into the 30s anymore, which is decent. Ooh, down here, it gets way higher FPS. Alright. It also looks a lot worse, and it's still blurry, you know? It's not using TAA, but come on. It's still very, very blurry picture quality-wise. I don't like this. Well, I'm trying to rescue my friends over here. I didn't even do it. Defeat. Already 69. Okay, at least it ended at 69 FPS. Can't really complain about that too much, right? What am I doing? Is this chopper upside down? Am I inside of it? What the hell? I'm outside of the game area. What is going on? I just spawned. No, I don't want to die right away, please. Oh my god. What happened there? Alright, there's a guy there. Oh my. What happened now? Anyway, this is the same map, but we're attacking this time around. And it seems like if you want that 60 plus FPS experience, all you need to do is make the game a super blurry mess at native 720p resolution. And then it will be possible, my friends. Oh, finally, we got a kill here. Okay. Obviously, like, 1080p looks way better. I don't really consider this to be very good in terms of the graphical fidelity right now. This is really bad, actually, because it's so damn blurry. Now, if you die, it still drops into the 30s, so 1% lows are going to be wrecked here, unfortunately, okay? But aside from that, it is a stable experience above 60 FPS most of the time, in this map at least. Not sure if this is less intensive or more intensive than the other maps. I imagined it would get like 30 FPS with 720p upscaled, you know, 1080p with FSR quality. What is going on around me? What is this? What the hell, bro? There are way too many little gadgets, guys. I did enjoy this game quite a lot in the beta, though. Maybe I'm just being unlucky today. Alright, or maybe it's just that this isn't really the best experience, right? Come on! Oh my gosh, how many bullets does it take? But hey, at least if you don't care about graphics and if you want a playable experience, GTX 960 seems to be capable of delivering that, you know? It's not a terrible experience. It could be 30 FPS with 720p, right? But it isn't. It's 60 FPS. So at least there's that. And if you want 1080p resolution, it looks a lot better, of course, and it will get you those 50 FPS average, or maybe like 40 to 50 most of the time. But then it has a lot of input lag. Once again, I really disliked the input lag at 1080p resolution. Actually, it's not because of the 1080p resolution, it's because of the lower frame rate. So 60 minimum is what you should aim for in this title, in my opinion, okay? And if you can't really get that, you need an upgrade, basically. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm fine. Let's go. I'm okay. I'm scared. I'm really scared right now. They can spot us from everywhere. They're everywhere as well. Okay. We got an assist on that one. Oh my gosh. I will help you, buddy. I will help you. Let's go, Reaper. Let's do this. I got you, boy. I got you. Let's go. Keep on advancing. Attacking the bastards. Come on. Come on, good people. Oh, yes. Oh, this is epic now. Come on, there's a guy here. Alright, you got this, guys. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully with a better GPU, because this isn't amazing, but at least it's very playable, and it's impressive that we have a game coming out today that only asks for a GTX 960. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.